unlike Nigeria, many other places, the local languages come first.
There is this globalization strategy that everybody seems to be having, that we're basically forgetting communities. There needs to be more policies that are targeted towards addressing communities through media. We now need to start being the forefathers of the next generation.
There are tons of places in Nigeria that people do not know about. There are tons of cultures. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of languages that are spoken in the country that we do not know about. Do you even know that there are tribes within Yoruba?
People watch Korean movies now, like in Korean.
Yeah.
And they understand the story. But guess what? There is no Hausa movie showing on LTVA. YouTube Nigeria does not pick content from Nigeria necessarily. There's no policy regulating it.
People need to come out more to talk about this thing.
Parents must be intentional. They must be mindful. Who is teaching my child? So that fear of saying, oh, we don't want affectation, I'm going to my house. So English has become the convenient language for the world.
So a YouTuber in Nigeria that has 10,000 live viewers will make less than a YouTuber that has 1,000 live viewers in US.
In France, you have different shades of French, but there's still the Central French.
What's the Central Nigeria?
There's none.
Hi guys, Aziz Amida here. So I remember one day I went home and I didn't have my school uniform when I was much younger. And my mom, when you've committed those sort of crime, let me use crime, you go home to your mom and you try to explain yourself. So I got home and I was trying to explain to my mom why I didn't have my uniform. But I'd lost it because I spoke vernacular in school. Like, I spoke Yoruba. So they collected my uniform because I didn't have 50 kobo to pay. So it was a funny case back then. But that sort of thing still existed today. We're punished a lot for speaking our own local languages, or local language, or our own dialect. We're also very, eager to learn as much foreign language as possible. And I feel it's about time to start understanding. Yeah, both of them are very relevant to, the global stage we are now. But we are still part of that global stage as Nigerians. And I feel it's important that we start, seeing the value on both sides of it. So I've heard a lot of conversations. So I thought it's good to bring about two good experts. I mean, amazing people, amazing women that I've, come to get fond of in the 1 hour I've met them. So, and with me here is Mrs. Betty. She's the founder of Branama TV. When I heard the word, I thought it was Branama, and it's basically, but when you pronounced it, I'm like, it has to be a Nigerian word.
It is Nigerian.
So yeah, and I think it means to show off.
It means to show off. It's an honorable word, meaning to show off. So Branama TV is a children's channel. Nigerian children showing off the amazing things that they do.
That's amazing. And I mean, how long has it been airing now?
2 years on Star Times channel 135, and we're on some streaming services like Free TV. We're on Afribox Cast TV, and some others that we've already signed the deal, but I can't call their names.
Okay, that's great stuff. And I will Miss Favour. She, the problem today is going to be the pronunciation of it. And she's a founder of SprachVille.
You did well.
Okay.
You did well.
So
that's 70%.
I had to think like 500 times 5, So, but she focuses more on foreign languages, and I think one of the things that why I feel this conversation is would be very balanced, is because there's a side of, okay, you know what, let's put it in kids while they grow up, as they grow up, and because when you after 13, the things you come up with are very strong, and at the same time there's the other side of, okay, yeah, you should learn as much languages as possible, but don't forget your heritage at the end of the day. So, but I want to basically hear from both of you. What has been what has been your experience in terms of people's exposure to language, perception about language, really? Yeah. So.
All right, who's starting?
This one, there's no ladies first. So
okay.
All right,
let me go. in the course of work, what I was doing before I started Branama TV, I've had to be in different spaces, different countries. And unlike Nigeria, many other places, the local languages come first. But I know in Nigeria, what you have is, oh, do you speak English? If you can't speak English, then you're not there. I know that is changing, maybe not as fast as we would like it to, but I'm hoping it will become fashionable, more fashionable to say, oh, I actually speak 3 Nigerian or 4 Nigerian languages, and then I speak French, I speak German, or I speak Portuguese, or Mandarin, any other language. So in South Africa, for example, the kids learn their languages first.
Yeah.
They have 12 official languages, sign language being the 12th official language. So kids start with their local languages like some families do here. I know that in the north, the children start off learning their own language before they get to school. So you see a Hausa graduate of Harvard who actually speaks very, very fluently his language, his home language. It's wrong to say he's only Hausa in the north, because there are many languages I've come to see in the course of even doing Branama, that there are hundreds of languages up north, not Hausa. So it's a mindset thing we need to change. Teach your children, or speak with your children. The children, speak with them.
Yeah.
And I know at some point we had Nigerian languages in schools. Compulsory, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, you must pass. You have to have Yoruba.
Yes.
But we also had French, basically.
We had French.
Yeah, we had French.
At least one. Or make time to speak with the children. It's not in high school I met a girl who could speak French, but she couldn't write French.
That's a thing.
She couldn't write it. I did French in secondary school. I was doing better in the written, but you know what's more important? The one who can speak. So she's been immersed, she lived in France, and she could speak. I was envious in a positive way. Like, I wish I could just be fluent. I love languages, and it's important, as Mandela would say, speak to a man in the language he understands, speak to his head, speak in his own language. You speak to the heart. So you be more at home. Your child will be more at home if, after all the English and French and everything, and it's important to be broad-minded about having all the other languages, but the home one, you must have at least one language. It's fashionable to do so now. It is.
Miss Favour. Oh yeah.
So I think that now, it's now in vogue, in quotes. Sorry, I'm Gen Z, so pardon my Gen Z language, but it's now in vogue to be able to speak multiple languages. And that's because how be it selfish it may sound, there are a lot of opportunities outside there, and a lot of people want to leave, right? So with local languages especially, I remember growing up, there's a funny story. I was out with my brother, and growing up, my parents spoke Yoruba to us, mainly because they knew if you get to school, it's English they'll speak to you. So when you enter this house, you're speaking Yoruba. And so we went out, I think we went to the zoo, and my brother and I were conversing in Yoruba. We were very young, I think I was maybe 5 or 6. And I remember vividly the look of surprise on the faces of the people that were around us at that time. And a man even had like the guts, and he just came to meet me and said, "Who is your mom? How come you can speak so fluent?" And now I'm wondering why that was such a thing of surprise. Because I mean, shouldn't this be the ideal thing? You give birth, you have a child. The first thing that the first language the child should be able to speak should be the language within the house, the mother tongue, right? So yeah, I think that now, to be honest, people are being receptive to languages. A lot of people are speaking languages, their local languages more. You go on social media now, there are a lot of creators, online influencers, and all they do is put their local language on the map, right? And so it's beautiful to see. It's so good. I think that the reception has been really good. I mean, do we still have more work to be done? Absolutely, because I still feel like there are a lot of things that we've not still gotten yet. But it's a good start, because I don't think we were like this 5 years ago. I don't think it was like this. Yeah. I remember when I mentioned off camera that, I studied foreign languages. And I remember when, I mentioned that I got admission to study French in school. I could see the look of joy in the faces of people. That's so good. You will become an ambassador. You would, I'm telling you, even now, I know how many job opportunities people send to me outside of the country, right? But I know that the reception would have been different if I said, oh, I got an admission to study Yoruba.
Oh,
why?
Definitely.
Right? So, but now, again, like I said, it's getting, people's eyes are opening up to these things, right? And people are beginning to see that, okay, there's more to this. I think the reception has been good. Is there more work to be done? Oh, of course.
Sure.
But yeah, I think the reception has been good so far.
Okay, but one thing I wanted to, I want to put it to of you is basically, why do you think the reason we prefer English is because there's so much, because there's a lot of language in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah.
Nigeria, I think we have one of the most diverse.
Yes, 770.
Yeah, it's a huge number. So, and imagine a very diverse company in Nigeria. You recruit, let's say, 20 people, and you pick them from different states. Just say you're so particular about being diverse, and you say, let me go pick 20 people from different states. How do you create that? Do you think the reason English is like the come to stay one is unfortunate, is a foreign one? We couldn't pick one within all the 700. And it's very strange. We have 700, we couldn't pick one, but we picked one from somewhere. Do you think the reason is better off with, is because of the multitude of languages that is creating that reason to say, pick one language that is, uniform to everybody? Nobody has ever thought about English in Nigeria.
I think it's a major factor. Which language would you have liked?
Exactly.
If we pick Yoruba, they'll be saying, no, it's not the...
It's not a Yoruba country.
There are several people that don't
they'll
speak
say, no,
Yoruba.
it's not.
That's the thing.
No,
So in Nigeria, it's convenient. I also wish, we have our pidgin English. I also wish that had been pushed up, projected more for everyone. It's corrupted English, yes, but it has our own lingo inside. Like you have the one for Ghana, it's different, for Sierra Leone, Cameroon even, it's different. So in Nigeria, you say, I dey come there, I dey come. Cameroon will say, me dey come na ya, things like that. Projecting as our own pidgin, and people actually are fascinated by it. But going back to what you asked, English is convenient in a country like Nigeria. And then we can't look away from the world. Everyone has to have some English so that we can speak with the world as well. So if you speak French, there are Francophone countries in Africa, outside Africa, but English is the one, all of them still know English. So English has become the convenient language for the world. We can't throw that away.
I agree.
Yes, but we must also project ours.
And we know that even if there's a chance that if I speak Yoruba, you will not get me. There's a chance that if I speak this language, you will not get me. So why not just speak the language that I know that you won't understand for sure, right? So I think that's just me. Like she said, and I totally agree with that, it's just convenient.
So the right structure would have been, if you're in the midst of a, let's say, if I'm in this circle where everyone is uniform, we should encourage local language.
We should encourage
And
local language.
if once that gets broader,
Absolutely.
there needs to be a bit more, okay, this is now English, let's talk here and all that. Okay, so if I go, let's say I go to France, and I have a Yoruba guy that took a job in an office. an office in France. I have a Japanese, took an office in France. I have a French guy, take an office in France. Do we speak English in that office?
Same office?
Yeah.
There would definitely be English and
Most
some
likely
French.
not, though.
They would be speaking
They
French.
will most likely speak French.
In France, they would speak French.
Like the office is in. Let's take. We went to all these up north Spanish villages. You have 3 people from different areas. Come take a job in a company there, and normally they speak different languages.
Yeah.
If in that office, do you think it's most likely going to be Spanish or English?
There will be Spanish, but there will be English.
I agree there will be English.
There will be English. You can't.
Most
Even in
likely.
France, there will be English. It's universal.
So here is now my own point. But that English is not as pronounced
It's not
as it would be
prioritized. Yeah.
French.
French.
In some cases it might be because they have different people inside.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to drive is, at what point in Nigeria can you go to a Yoruba town to take a job as an Hausa guy and choose to say, okay, we can actually have a meeting in Yoruba? I'm not saying, or you go to a bar and say, I want to have a meeting in local language. Or same thing, go to Abuja, say, you know what, let's have a convention in house. At what point do we get to that? How do we get to the point where the community determine the language rather than, is it even possible?
That's the question.
Is it possible if we have majority Hausa? More easily, they can easily do Hausa language meeting. Yoruba up to a point, Igbo, except probably, hey, I hope I won't be crucified for this. Maybe there will definitely be English. There will be English, and then of course town hall meetings. For all the ethnic groups, they speak their languages.
They speak their language.
Okay, so because what I'm trying to, because I'm trying to paint a picture now. If 3 of us got a job in Japan,
Yeah.
the next day we'll be downloading, what's that app language?
Duolingo.
Duolingo, yeah.
Learning Japanese.
So.
But if you got a job in Kaduna,
I don't
3 of us, none of us will download Hausa language.
I would.
I will.
I mean, I won't. I will just go there and be saying how far to all of you.
I will.
Be all right.
I would, but I don't think we're being fair. I know that in France you have different shades of French.
Yes.
But there is still the central French.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's easy.
What's the central Nigeria?
It's easy. There is none. There is no except if we had promoted Pidgin English, for example. Maybe. Like it's an intentional thing. Strategic, if we had done that from way back. You say, okay, we have one universal language that everybody understands.
In Nigeria speaks.
And then, but you're saying French. You're not saying okay, let's even take Congo, for example. You say French, there's Lingala, there's so many of all these subgroups, and even Swahili. So you can't, it's not fair. I don't think it's fair to...
No, don't get me wrong. I don't want to take a generalization in literal terms. For me, I'm just saying, okay, let's say I'm not familiar with foreign languages. I'm not really a language, what's it called? What's that fancy word? Is that aficionado or something like that?
Yeah, that's the word.
I'm not really that person. I just like, what I'm trying to say is, what I have seen in most cases is that in Nigeria here, when you walk into just Nigeria, if you go to a company where there's one expert that speaks, let's say, French, another one that speaks, what's it called? People speak different languages. Along that chain, if 3 of them find themselves in a room that they speak French together, they will have that meeting in French.
Yes,
in Nigeria.
they would.
Yeah.
Yes.
3 Yorubas will not have, or 3, in the same company, 3 Yoruba guys in a room will not have.
I think the issue that you're trying to spotlight now is a mindset issue.
Exactly.
Okay.
We think, and yeah, actually.
Who would
because-
take the minutes? How do you take the minutes of the meeting? So convenience is it? English is not, much as it's convenient.
Okay.
There is that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I would just like to spotlight again that Nigerians within Nigeria, when it comes to their local languages, they don't, in quotes, rate it. I agree with you completely, right? But like you said, if there are 3-4 people in a room, we all speak Yoruba or we all speak Igbo. Well, I think that even Igbo men, I feel like they would speak the language within each other, right? But we are all together and we
Yes,
speak.
most likely.
Yes, most
Hausa
likely.
guys will have the meeting. They will most likely
So
have
now-
that. If there are
Not
3
total,
Hausas,
not to Hausa more. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
if there are 3 Hausas in the room, I can almost tell you that meeting is going to be in Hausa.
Yes.
99%. Igbos, I think
English
Igbo
and-
is becoming English Igbo.
Yes.
You
so,
really
so
find
Igbo English.
a-
When somebody is angry, he switches to English.
Yeah,
You know,
and then Yorubas as well. I don't think that we
it's
we
a
carry
mindset
our
thing.
language on the same pedestal that we place other languages, English, foreign languages, you know. And so we don't think that. I would rather. Why are we not having this podcast in Yoruba, for instance? Well, I know that you don't speak, but imagine that it was just both of us. Would we have it in Yoruba? I don't
No.
think so.
Me, I can't.
But
do
it's
Yoruba.
possible.
No, trust me. Me,
Except
I'm
if
happy.
it's a niched.
I can literally speak Yoruba for Nigeria. I can speak Yoruba the whole day. If you give me the opportunity, I'll just
Yeah.
be going. So,
I think
but-
that's another issue.
but what you said earlier, I think it makes a lot of sense. If you look at it, if I pick all the tribes in Nigeria, and I say everybody below 14, or everybody below 10, let's even say 7, there is a high likelihood that the northern ones will be able to speak their.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like in this day,
Yes.
there is a very high likelihood that the northern ones, no matter the class of their parents or anything, they'll be able to speak their local language. High likelihood. Yoruba, maybe 7%.
Community teaching.
7 over 100.
7/10, probably.
No.
7%?
Maybe now.
Yorubas.
I don't think it's that bad.
Okay, let me put it this way. I
No.
think Yoruba, I will
Probably.
separate the Yoruba one into 2. Yoruba, if they are the more elite the parent is, the less likely they will speak Yoruba. Let me put it that way.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's
Maybe
something
speak fluently.
I don't even think they will
might-
speak at all.
Maybe now. Before.
No, now is what I'm saying.
Oh, now,
I'm not
yeah.
saying before.
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
saying now,
now.
if I gather people that are 7 years old down, you can almost say, no, I think the best way, I won't say the more elite, the more educated.
Even 15 down.
No, and let's even make it more, whatever they call the
Gen
6-year-old
Beta.
down now. It's like, if I pick, the more educated the parent is, the parents are,
The less likely.
the less likely they will speak Yoruba.
Yeah.
Because everyone is speaking English.
Exactly. So if the parent don't speak English much, there is a 99% chance the kid is not going to speak. And I think I've not really examined or done the more Niger Delta, Southeast area very well, but I think it's almost the same in that area too.
It's getting, it's that way. I'm Niger Delta, but I grew up in Anambra State, and I know that I started speaking Igbo first, but I got into school early, and language of instruction is English,
English, yeah.
in Nigeria. So I was talking to a parent who said, look, we're trying to avoid affectation.
What does affectation mean?
When you're housing and owning my house, or we're going to church, things like
Oh.
that,
With
so that they're
Nigerian
trying
accent.
to avoid. But If you, the parent, you're speaking Yoruba and you don't say shush, your child will not. And if you're mindful to notice if a teacher is saying shush and you're correcting your kid.
My wife's biggest nightmare.
Oh, it's a big nightmare. You know, you don't want that. When I'm married to a Yoruba man, when my kids were like 4, 5, I got a Yoruba teacher. And they started the aga, bibolu and all that. And then I heard shush.
Hey.
You know, that was the end of the class. So, that was the end of the class. But
I'll get mobile. Church,
I was the teacher saying, "Oh, I have to go to church. I can't come on."
That's how you spell that one.
Shush in Yoruba is correct.
In Yoruba, shush,
in
yes.
English.
In her English, she say, "Oh, I cannot make it for class on this day because
I'm
I
going
have
to
to go to church."
Oh, Lord.
And I'm saying, I'll leave the kids with her, and then I'm hearing church, you know. So that was the end of. So many parents are afraid of things like that. But if you are mindful, or if you speak with your kid, you should be able to,
I agree.
you know, nip it in the bud and ensure that it's not what the even for Branama TV, you know, some of the kids we bring and you hear, shout it, no, it's shout, you say shout. We don't want to be elitist, but we must set the right example. So you're correcting, but they will still go home and be shushing. you understand? So it's something parents must be intentional about. They must be mindful. Who is teaching my child? So that fear of saying, "Oh, we don't want affectation, I'm going to my house." There's no H in Yoruba language,
No.
you know, but it's not every Yoruba. I've not heard you say house. I've not.
Well, I don't think, I think I speak Tintini. My wife says I'm not a good English speaking person, but I try. She's better than me in English. Me, I'm...
So you still have Yoruba people who can say house.
Yeah.
My home, my house. Many parents, that's the excuse I heard when I said, "Oh no, I've seen people, once the kid leaves school, they switch to the home language." But we still have those who just go on with the English. The children will not learn if they don't use.
So you think the primary responsibility of promoting local languages with the parents?
The parents,
Absolutely, 100%.
the home, 100%.
That's the first touch point that children have.
We don't trade down for nanny now.
Well,
If you have a nanny who doesn't have all the affectation, if you don't have that problem, why not? No, if you have a...
You know, we didn't say anything, but we all know why we are laughing.
Okay, why?
That's the point.
Is that
which nanny?
is that possible?
It's possible.
Do we have?
Yes, it's possible,
It's
but
possible.
that possible is like, it's the reason why we
The
say it's
percentage
possible
is
is
low.
because
Yeah.
the general is different. Before I speak 4 lines, there is one Yoruba inside somewhere. And I'm like, okay,
Which is good.
it's good for me. But if I'm speaking to my daughter, for example, I don't do that. For some reason, I just speak English alone. But I've not had time enough to be able to say, oh, communicate in Yoruba. My mom is Igbo, for example. So it's a bit, so the child gone is confused. You understand? So,
My kids are confused as well. But you know, it doesn't matter. Along the line, because I hear my children say, okay, is this Igbo or is it Yoruba? Which one is this? I tried to say things, go and fetch that thing. Go get me this. Or, of course, they know Ogini. Ogini kwa. You know?
that one is like...
Yes, they know the tone.
Ogini
Ogini kwa. You know, what is it again? But the daily thing, when your daughter is older, she'll know the difference. Main thing is having her understand what she's saying and saying it right. Not like Kiloruko, you know social media. Some of these schools now do maybe language day, Indigenous language day.
Oh,
I think it's in August
yes,
or when?
like cultural day or something.
Cultural day. They do videos of the kids speaking their parents' languages, and it's a kilo. Okay, say how are you in your Kiloruko? It's not okay.
Yeah.
You must do it right. Because you won't go and say English and be speaking funny. So it's still our responsibility.
It is.
Tell your child, a caro, mommy, a caro. You know, not a caro and baboni. Oh, I don't understand. It's no longer fashionable.
No, but how do you now? I want to take it. For me now, I want to take a very practical system. It's okay. I have a kid. The kid is 6 years old. What would be the first 2-3 things to do to make sure she can speak Yoruba, she can speak Igbo?
Speak the language to her.
Exactly.
So, well, let's say her name is Kik. I'm sorry.
Her name is Alana, for example.
Alana. Oh, Baoni. Oh, or have you greeted me? This is how you greet. Oh, Caro, Caro, Daddy. And she will go to mommy and say, Caro, mommy. You know, like that. She knows what greeting, or how to introduce herself. Little things, and the simple sentences. Do you want to eat? Kilo feje. Kids say that very easily. Oh, mofeje rice, or mofeje resi, or whichever way you want to put it. Bit by bit, she will pick. She can't. Kemi Betenok, I'm sure she speaks Yoruba very well. You know, I know she's, sounding all the way she sounds now, but I'm sure she can speak, being immersed here. But it's important.
So, okay, I think that now comes. So, on a foreign language side, how do you? Because I think the worst thing for me is I'll download Duolingo like this. I will learn up to level 50
Don't
something.
worry.
When I meet one person that speaks the language that you don't scatter.
Oh, you're not the only one.
I'm like, wait, they are not speaking the one I learned.
You're not the only one.
When the guy scattered that language for me, like
to pick words and then piece the words.
Yeah, I'm even horrible at those things. Like, I went to, now schooling in Madrid. I learned what pollo means because I eat chicken. I don't eat pork. And hamon, pollo, the two things I took out of my entire MBA language. Like, when I say no hamon, just find me pollo. That's chicken, no ham. End of story. I will listen to Duolingo like this, like, I don't learn. I will do all the thing, get 5-star. Oh yeah, let's go. Once I reach the airport and the guy do one like this, he don't scatter. I'm like, back to English. I beg English, please. So, but how do you see people? So, how do you adopt? How do you see people adopting language? And I'm saying that in the case of, you also want a kid to be able to speak all the languages as well. Yeah. To say, okay, I want you to be able to speak French. How do you? So me now, as the popsy, I can't even pass a Duolingo exam. I'm the one to teach the Peking.
You can't
how
teach
to
her.
Do.
There are different types or systems, let me say systems of learning languages. There is by immersion. And with this, it means everywhere your surrounding contributes to learning of that language. So for instance, exactly. So for instance, you were born in Paris, you were born in France. If you can't speak French, then there's something up. Most times it doesn't even matter if that language is being spoken in your house. But because even when you go outside, everyone around you speaks that language, on TV, everywhere, music, you would learn it, right? There is also now the active learning bit. Oh, I want to learn this language. I need to get a tutor. I need to get somebody to teach me, right? So those two major ways are the ways to learn a language, basically. I always, I vote for immersion. And even in Nigeria, if you want to learn a foreign language, you can get immersed in it. One of the surest ways to do it, I recently just changed my phone back to English. I changed the language to French. So I'm typing, So you can do that. It's a setting. You don't want to.
Yeah,
But
your
yeah,
keyboard can be changed.
you can change your keyboard. You can change the language of your phone completely. So you want to learn a language. I don't know. I don't think we have that so much in local languages, but I'm just going to talk on foreign languages. You want to learn Spanish. First of all, change the setting of your phone to Spanish. The music you listen to, the movies you watch, the books you read. These are ways to learn by immersion. It means that you're, in fact, news. You watch news. I remember in my first, second, third year, anytime I'm home, the TV is on TV Sync. There you're watching news. You don't need to understand completely what you're saying, but you're watching, you're looking at their interaction, you're looking at their accent, how they're talking, how they're speaking. Little by little, you begin to get those, right? And even with the active learning bit, you're going to a school, I'm sure that even the school and your tutors would also recommend, oh, these are some movies you can watch to start. Because there's no how. You want to sound like them. You want to sound like the natives. You want to be fluent in the language. The best place to learn it is with the people that are actually natives and can speak the language well, right? And that's why, again, I would say that the home, for children, the home is the best place, because you're at home, you're speaking the language. Again, it can be intentional, but not also, it doesn't have to be calculated. It can be as easy as possible. Like the example I gave earlier, mainly because both my parents are Yoruba. And when they're at home, they're speaking Yoruba to each other. My parents speak very good English. They both work in the university. But at home, and I think they did not tell me, but I think it was an agreement that when we are at home, we are speaking Yoruba, so these children will learn, right? And so they didn't have to sit us down to say, book is Iwe, cup is, what is cup in Yoruba? I have no idea. Cup. Yeah, they didn't have to do that. It was just by reason of watching them and then them telling us to do stuff in the language, we're able to get it. And now, when my brother speaks Yoruba, you'll be wondering if he went to, So yeah, I think those are like the major ways to learn.
Like, my own brain is, I think it's messed up. Because I sat in the middle of people like this, speaking Spanish. I don't learn shishi, news, everything. What did I not learn?
Your mind was not open.
Your mind wasn't open.
Your mind was closed.
That's why I said it is messed up.
But it's different for kids.
Your mind wasn't open.
It's different for kids.
Oh, children are sponges.
Yes. I tried something with my children when they were about 9 or so. They went to a friend's school. No previous. Okay, I was doing a little bit for them at home, but not to the point of learning. They went to a friend's school where they were being. There was no subject called French. They were being taught.
Oh, so
in the French language.
Yes.
Oh,
so within a year,
they could speak.
So
That's
now immersion. So that helped, but I know the first few months was horrible for them.
100%.
But children adapt. Like I was so shocked that they could just pick it up like that. But that's children. For an adult, it'll be a bit more difficult.
I know someone who went to study in Ukraine, and after 2-3 years, she could speak the language fluently.
Yes.
Maybe for you, maybe it was because you still had.
I think my problem is Google Translate.
No.
I just like, if you don't they talk to me, I just say, oh yeah.
And then, I mean, it was English. They were teaching you in English now.
Yeah, classes were in English.
Like
me, I just,
so there was no pressure.
Like, everywhere else, I would just, concern me. Once you are speaking on, I just on the Google and translate your, record it for me. What did he say? He said this. I'll record my own. He said, if you don't like it.
You could have used that time to learn. Your mind wasn't open to it.
No, my own mind is already locked. They don't use padlocks. They won't throw away the key.
It's easier for some people than others.
Yeah, for me, I think adapting, I think being a more routine than if you, I find it easy changing. If I commit to a routine, you'll be amazed how consistent I could be on it. I could literally go boom, boom, the same thing on and on.
Yeah.
But the moment you say, so in fact, this cup as is here, you can actually just, to mess up my head, let me come one day and it's just there. The whole thing is like, why is he there? Is this something like, but put it back here, everything is.
And you're good.
So you could have a scattered room and I know where everything is. Once you come and you rearrange one thing, I'm just like, oh my God.
For
I get
language,
that.
it doesn't work like that.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
So when it comes to learning all these things, I'm like,
No, it doesn't work like that.
You have
don't
to be
start out.
open-minded for language.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think at the end of the day, let's now, one of the things I also want to, try to bring up is always, because, a lot of times when you go to schools, we now have a country where everything is being taught in English.
Yes.
But I think when you go to different states, it's not usually the same. There are states where people learn a lot in local languages in Nigeria.
Yes.
And that's why when you find people, one of the things I see when I deal with a lot of artisans. And one day, somebody sent me a calculation, wrote all the things they need, and said, granddaughter, 300,000 naira.
It's grand total.
And I'm like, wait, did I just read this right? So the guy was trying to write grand total.
Yeah.
Is this amount. And I was like, so you get that those sort of thing. And I always feel like some of these guys, when they type, they literally just start the word and whatever autocorrect.
Correct.
So when you read it, it's like, did I just take a lesson in Mandarin? Like for me, but it's the way people. So there's some people that are actually taught in different local languages.
Mm-hmm.
How do we start integrating these people? Like, okay, you have an artisan who basically feels he speaks fluent Ibibio, and he's like, okay, I'm fine with it. But then he has to now do business. His business is growing. He needs to start doing business with more people that now want to converse in English and a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Now, how do you see that integration happening? Like, you're now beyond the age of reconciliation where somebody will say, go to one school. No, you're busy. How do you pick up? So take me as your case study now. What would I do to be able to say, now I'm dealing with, you say I don't use Google Translate. Google Translate is my easier option.
It's not always correct.
But the incorrectness is still okay for me now. It's more correct than my brain.
Well.
Most likely, I'll get 100% wrong. The Google Translate will get
up to
50%.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm fine with that. So, but how do you start that sort of integration as a person, both local and foreign languages?
I think the main thing generally we have to be mindful of is the issue of literacy. Ability to read and write. That opens your mind, first of all. Literacy in any language, if it's Yoruba, the alphabet is similar
They're
to
similar.
a point.
Yeah.
So A sounds like A, B sounds like B, like that. There are areas where it's not the same, but literacy is very important. One, in the case of business, some people have found a way around it. You employ as ethnically diverse people as possible. So that helps a lot. I've worked in a place where the employer didn't want any cliques. So as different as that helped, because if I have to say Sidibe or Idongesit, a regular person saying it will say Idongesit. Do you understand? But someone from Akwa Ibom will tell, who is working there will say, no, it's Idongesit. There's a way of Utube. Instead of saying Utibe. Utibe is not the right pronunciation. So as wide, it's not. Utibe is wrong. We can ask our Google here.
There is
we have a Google here.
No, pronounce
Utube. Utube. So that's the right pronunciation. But everyone will read it and say Utibe. But if you have people, the diversity, that's something that should be working for us in this country. There's a guy in my team who is from Gombe State. He does animation, and from him I found out that there's so many ethnic groups I've never even heard about. So he did this content asking children, what's your language? And how do you say God in your language? My mind was blown. Languages I'd never heard, like ethnic groups I'd never heard of before. He's from Gombe. I would ordinarily have said, Hausa boy. But he's not even Hausa. He said, I'm Tangale.
Interesting.
Have you heard that before?
No.
No.
See? Nigerian, 100% Nigerian. So if we employ as much diversity as possible in our businesses, that helps a lot. Imagine if you get a contract in Gombe. He can tell you the sights and sounds of the place, the sensibilities, if I borrow a former president's word, of the place. So that helps. If it's too late for you to learn another language, someone in your organization can help out.
And I think what you just touched on the point there, this sensibility. I think that's something language brings about.
Yes.
And I always tell people this, and I said, sometimes we walk into different tribes and cultures, we walk into it as we are.
Yes.
We see everybody through the lens of the people we know.
Yeah.
And this was a big shock for me. I was in Rwanda, and I moved to Rwanda, and it was like, walk into a meeting. In Nigeria, if we are shouting on ourselves, it's sports now.
It's normal.
Everybody, after one, everybody just kept quiet. Like, for the next forever meeting, nobody talks. What's happening? And don't they have opinions or so and so? Until my ear called me one day, he said, so she is from Uganda.
Okay.
And she's like, I think you need to get to understand Rwandese very well. Rwandese are not naturally confrontational. So when they keep quiet, it's because they assume that the way to talk to you is by confrontation. So there is a 99% chance they're sending emails to somebody to say, this guy is too...
Yeah.
He says, so flip that strategy. Let them, when you get to the meeting,
Keep quiet
just
first.
shut up and let them speak. And the meeting is like we put a volume at volume 20. You know, when you do Lagos meetings, like volume 2, volume 300, volume 1, volume 4, volume... This one is like
It's
volume...
just-
Everybody just talks. And I'm like, I had to do that thing. It's the biggest endurance I've had to go through. It's like, you know when you're just like, okay. Now, when I want to really, don't say anything. No. So she will come and sit beside me and say, just listen. So we're doing Zoom calls in the office because I don't know how to not, like,
Raise your
Yeah.
voice.
like, how are you telling me
Yeah.
we are not able to meet
Yes,
a customer?
we come across as noisy and
We
confrontational.
Yeah,
We
actually.
are confrontational. It's when you start meeting most of these people
Yes.
that are from different, I think even now Ghanaians are getting a bit more, they're catching up to Nigerians more. But before,
Yeah, they were very...
okay.
Sure.
But I think the point is, we just need to be a lot more, I think language, learning culture, let me use that word, because culture basically,
Encompasses all this.
it teaches you a lot more than just, I'm going to be acting the way I act, but you understand? And I used to have a French boss. First 2 weeks, me and Olivier, we fought ourselves like, because I just felt he was attacking me. But the guy by default, that's the way he speaks.
They're very straightforward.
He's just going to tell you the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't believe this thing is right. This thing does not make sense to me. And I'm like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Okay, don't tell me now. So we will be clashing. So, but I get that. But the key thing is now, so we have a country where the central language is English. Hundreds of languages around different factions and different circles and different everything. I think the ultimate question at the end of the day is that what is the Nigeria you see as most efficient? The one where English is everywhere, You understand? Or the one where people speak English, but local languages are much, it's where you do official language, right? You have an official language, but then you have your culture.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel where the mix is now getting to the point where the culture is now impacting the culture rather than...
We're throwing off a lot of things.
A lot of things. So rather than becoming, this is the official language, if you want to speak, but all of you, this is our culture. So which would you, and how do you promote that? How do we get to that point again? Because we're like far off from it now.
We need to put, in fact, it's even a thing of we need to put cultures in Nigeria on the map. Like you mentioned earlier, I always tell people that I meet, or maybe someone that wants to learn a language, you cannot learn a language without learning the culture, right? So you can't say you're going to Germany and you don't want to research on the culture of the Germans, right? And the way they live their lives. The day I researched on the German culture, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
Because I know that if I had gone to Germany without actually researching on that, I would have been lost. So we need to be able to put Nigeria out there. There are tons of places in Nigeria that people do not know about. There are tons of cultures. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of languages that are spoken in the country that we do not know about at all. This person that you just mentioned, I didn't even know that there was a tribe like that in the country, right? We need to do that more. We need to talk about it more. People need to come out more to talk about these things. I really appreciate that we have a lot of, creators that are doing this. What she's doing is such an amazing thing as well. Channels, TV, media is everywhere, right? We need to do it more. Here are things about the Yorubas that you don't know. Do you even know that there are tribes within Yoruba? There is Egba, there is Ijebu, there is Ilesha. Do we even know the difference between these guys? Do we know what is distinct about them? It's from learning these things and learning about these people that you become interested in the language that they speak, right? So I think that's one major thing that we need to do. We need to talk about it more. Except if the radio channel is a niche Yoruba channel, you would hardly hear on radio, maybe a newscaster talking and then she puts in maybe Yoruba or, in there. We can start incorporating that into it, right? Of course, everything it doesn't have to be chaotic, but we can make it work, Media, what is the narrative that we're passing? What is the kind of conversation that we are having? This conversation, I really appreciate it, right? Can we have more like this? There are people that don't even know the opportunities that are available in the world of leave foreign. We know that you can jackpot with foreign languages. But there are not a lot of people that know the opportunities that are available in the world of local languages. There is a lot you can do with it. That's why you would see that we have expatriates coming into the country to learn Yoruba, to learn Igbo, because they know that there is something that they need to get, and they need to learn the language to get it. So these are the kinds of conversations that we need to start having, and we don't have it enough. By the time we start talking about these things, then you begin to see that, oh, I didn't even know this was possible. Oh, so with Yoruba you can do this. Oh, with this you can do this. There's a lot you can do with it. There's media. There's international organizations that you can work with. Yeah, just by reason of speaking local languages. There are NGOs. There are causes that you can be a part of just by reason of, speaking and understanding local languages, right? So we need to have more people like that. We need to have more people that would come out and talk about these things. I know, for instance, there's this man that I really love. I enjoy watching his show a lot, Maso Ibo.
Oh, yes.
He has come out. I don't think there was anybody that was really doing something like that in Yoruba, And he has come out, and now we can see that people are getting interested in the Yoruba language. Yeah. But imagine that we have 20 Maso Ibos. Imagine we have 30 people. We need to understand that speaking local languages, it doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't mean that you are not tush or you are not posh because you speak your local language. Same thing with Igbo, same thing with Hausa, same thing with Tiv, same thing with all these other languages. I recently found a creator on social media that was speaking Tiv, And I was so fascinated by it. I'm always fascinated by languages. And I'm like, wow, what if I learn it? Makes it the 5th local language that I want to learn. And yeah, imagine we have more people like that come out and show us the beauty, of these things, the opportunities that are available in things like this, in being a part, in learning local languages. I feel, again, I just think the PR is not loud enough, and we need to put fire on it. That's just it.
How do we do that integration?
By just putting out the language. I'm happy some of the services now, they'll tell you if you want service in Yoruba, even on the phone service, the bank ATMs, you want to be served in this language. But people need to have more things they can interact with. More. A pseudo immersion kind of thing, even through drama. I'll give an example. In South Africa, you have the English language, very popular, Generations. It's now called Generations, the Legacy. But within Generations, you have different ethnic groups. They speak English, generally. Then they speak your Yoruba. You speak Yoruba to me. I speak Igbo to you in the dialogue. So we've learned to pick. Then you have the minority groups who have their own drama as well. There is Guyani, the Blood River, something like that. You have Mobango, which is Venda. So we're watching, you have the one for the Zulu people, but you have people speaking other languages within.
Yeah.
In all of that, let's say the Zulu one, for example, you see weddings, you see umembezo, you experience their culture. It's not just people speaking isiZulu. You're seeing what a wedding looks like. We all used to wait for weddings, for example.
Yeah.
So you're following, you know that in Venda culture, this is how their weddings are.
Yeah.
This is how their funerals are. Or you don't do this. This is how you address, if I'm addressing you, instead of saying favor, I'll say Favour. Or I'm referring to someone else, I say, ooh, Favour. Do you understand? It's not just me learning how to speak, but the nuances of the culture.
Yeah.
So we need to put those things out there. We can't all go to, say, Gombe State, to the Tangale community to say we're learning. But if we have, say, a drama that reflects even the minority ethnic groups, we can do it. It's a low-hanging fruit, but do we know that it's important to improve cohesion, to improve understanding of the others? To say, okay, what is this Oju Deoba about? What is it all about? And then someone, even in your drama, or now I see that there's a lot of sponsors. It's been a huge event all along, but now it's even bigger, because some people drew attention to it.
It's now different from what it used to be, Shago.
It's now different, yes. It's now different from the typical thing, but at least we know that there is an Ojudeoba festival.
Yeah.
We know that there is a... Why do people come all the way from the US, Brazil, for Oshun Oshogbo? Why? They see so many things that we don't see finish about it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's voodoo. That's what we always say. It's ridiculous, really. We must project what we have. We can make money out of it. We can improve cohesion. We can improve understanding. Even this local tourism. Some countries are making so much of their GDP with local tourism.
We're leaving money on the table.
Yes, South Africa has, I don't know why I keep saying South, it's an African country. That's why I keep calling. There's a company, an institution called Brand SA. So it handles everything about projecting the goodness of the country. We know that it's not all good. Like even the US is not all good. It's so not all good, but this Brand SA projects everything. We have NOA, I know. They could do more. They're doing a lot, but they could do more. supporting people who are able to do these things. So Brande say, Project South Africa. I've walked out of the airport in, I think, Rome, and there was this banner, Visit South Africa. That company, that institution is responsible for that. When we have events like World Travel Market, I don't know if they're still doing it. What is our stand like? I've attended 2, and it's so shameful. When a country like Nepal is having a grand stand and they're dancing their dance, they're giving you their heart. That's how you communicate who you are to others and make them to come. The local, with regard to local tourism, in South Africa, you have what they call short left. It's local tourism. It speaks to, okay, you don't want to go to the US, go to Venda, go to Limpopo. I've been to the 9 provinces of South Africa. They have 9 provinces. And it's a huge country. By landmass, it's bigger than Nigeria. But hey, most of the roads, not all, they're good for road travel. I've been, and I can say it's a beautiful country. So now they're pushing their people to go visit other provinces. Don't always go home to Zululand. Go to Limpopo, go to Mpumalanga, go to all those. We can do that. I know that insecurity is an issue here. It's a big deal. People are afraid to travel. But there are people still traveling. There's a young lady I follow on Instagram. She goes to all these states, records 1 minute videos, and now I think she's getting endorsements. And I say, are you not afraid? She said, well, hey, I go low budget, but I just need to show. The younger people are the ones now pulling these things out that we've overlooked. They're more daring and they're trying to understand their country better. And we can support them by doing much more to help. You know, we're amazing.
We just need to put it out there. We're not telling our story enough.
I think, see, if you ask my own opinion, I'm always of this there's a role, there's 2 sides to the role. One, which is the easy one, is the government side.
Government, you can't do it without government.
Yes. So if you know this, there's something we don't all realize, that Nigerian music coming to where it is based on one single thing, that you cannot play foreign music. You can't have an all foreign music station in Nigeria.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to play Nigerian music. Now, that did a lot, because if I'm an artist, I have a chance to get on radio. People can hear me, people can see me. I have a chance to get on TV. I have a chance to get on this, get on that. The same thing applies to our languages. You know, the reason we all grew up, I can almost bet, name wherever you grew up, your TV was in your local language, most likely. You will have the NTA, Channel 10, Channel 5 that are more English. But there is always an LTV8, Ogun TV. There is always those ones that are very, that even when your TV does not pick anything,
They would pick
it will pick those ones.
Yeah.
Now, I feel what is going on is that there is this globalization strategy that everybody seems to be having, that we're basically forgetting communities. There needs to be more policies that are targeted towards addressing communities through media. So if I have a Ogun TV, for example, the job of that station is just to speak local languages, broadcast what is going on in the world in their language. The job of, and because you know, things get fashionable, they get marketable when everybody can do it, when everybody...
If you don't leave people out.
If you don't leave people out. So if everybody is able to say, oh, I speak Yoruba, there's a platform for me to use it, to trade on, where I can, you know, get some things back. Well, I'm selling tomatoes, for example. I can't speak English. How do I get it to the guy in Lagos or in Abuja or in up north Borno State? Like, how do I get it there? I can find a way to translate this sort of thing. So now the point is, then the second part is now that policy also needs to encourage bringing in additional languages into those communities.
Yes.
Because if I'm sitting here, you know, why do people watch Korean movies now, like in Korean?
Yes.
Yep.
And they understand the story. But guess what? There is no Hausa movie showing on LTVH.
Exactly. The exchanges used to happen
Exactly.
when it was mostly NTA or NTV.
Exactly. So when it was,
so we had program exchanges. It's not happening.
so those exchange needs to be there. That okay, I'm changing the culture. I'm seeing okay, Lagos people need to see more a bit of what is going on in this. How do I know the tribes that are there? Let's say I watch an action movie whereby one tribe is fighting. I will know the two tribes. Those sort of things. That exchange needs to happen. Two is the way they take a YouTube Nigeria. And this is the most, the craziest one you will find.
Yes.
YouTube Nigeria does not pick content from Nigeria necessarily. There's no policy regulating it. Instagram in your Nigerian network, MTN, does not script for Nigerian network things and give to you. It says I'm using an algorithm. No, there's no, every algorithm is based on policies that you're guided by.
So protectionist policies, at least up to a point.
Yep, I agree. You don't really go crazy and say, okay, you only see us. But my point is, if kids are spending more time on TikTok,
reach them there.
You need to say, okay, TikTok in Nigeria,
get it to them.
Here are the content creators in Nigeria. You need to make sure they are prioritized.
Yeah.
You cannot have a TikToker in Nigeria that is getting, his content are basically less priority in Nigeria than they are everywhere else. How? So those sort of policies need to start coming out to say, okay, you know what? Anything you do when you are within the bands of this country, using this country spectrum, these are the rules of engagement. This is how we would showcase you. This is how. So it encourages the kid to go and say, I want to speak my local language. I'm always going to be shown.
And do you know they're interested?
100%.
They are.
On our channel, they don't like long programs, children. There are two programs that, one is Yoruba Nimi, it's 5 minutes. And then I get letters from Ekiti, all those places say, oh, I really enjoyed this show. Even parents writing, oh, thank you for this. There's another one, we didn't want it to be like we're teaching Hausa, but it's a space trivia program, planets and all that. It's a boy called Hamza. Hamza in space, that's in English, but it's Hamza Asararin Samania. That's the chant that the boy does. We use AI for the animation. 5 minutes. He's in space, in some spaceship with his monkey and his grandpa. We created that in-house. That is in Hausa with English subtitles. At least the kids in the north who are watching get to know a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have support to produce, so we can't go all out to do that. But I know that from the feedback we get from some of the children, it's something that they enjoy and they learn in their language. Those who speak English, they can still follow. Short 5 minutes. The kids really want to know. I knew about masquerades that I watched when I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I still remember. Like the picture is still there. These kids now don't even know much about the masquerades. They don't.
And that's extremely important because
it's so unfair on them. You know, there's time to still get the things right.
But yeah, I think that there needs to be more active involvement. Okay, so the second side that I was now going to say is basically, I think it's about time people start caring too much about money and start focusing on actually getting the job done.
Will that ever happen?
No, but you see, at the end of the day, you know, the funny thing is, no, but guess what? The funny thing is, a lot of times, most people, the people who make the most are those who actually focus on the work. The reason we have very shallow systems in Nigeria is because we do it based on, I want to make money, no. If we actually said, okay, you know what, our aim is, we have 200 million people, what can you get better than that? Impossible.
Enforcement.
Yeah, let's still put on that. Let's just say us here decide, okay, you know what, our aim is that we want to lobby the government and get as much people as possible. We want to move to, pressure the government to say we need these policies in Nigeria. There are people putting their videos on YouTube. It doesn't show up on my own YouTube Nigeria.
And
People
they're
in
Nigerians.
Nigeria. People in
There are
Nigeria.
movies being done.
Why is that?
Because that's the point. YouTube is not obligated today
Oh.
to scrape content from Nigeria for Nigerians.
Oh.
They will tell you your algorithm is, but try it in China. See if you see.
No, you can't.
Go
No,
to
you
China
can't.
and say, just put your VPN to China. Your entire screen changes to Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
But Nigeria, 0 Nigerian movies on your YouTube page. But the Nigerians are creating content. So how do you get... So the point is, people that are... All this influencer nonsense that does not influence anything. You're an
They
influencer...
get paid, so nobody really cares.
Yeah, but that's the point. You're an influencer that cannot even influence a single policy about your own industry.
Yeah.
What influence do you have? I struggle with it.
We need to start getting our hands dirty into the thing and say, this is what we want.
Let me tell you a true story, right? When I came back into Nigerian telecoms, and I was, I became a CEO of this, and I told my team then, I said, we need to move. So what was happening was that Nigerian infrastructure providers were being paid lower than the foreign ones, more in a few cases.
I wonder why that is.
No, it's because people never fight for it.
Many companies here are doing that.
But it's not really their fault. You sign a contract with somebody. It's not even the protection. Let's leave the protection.
You agree to it.
You agree to a contract. Because you want to undercut the foreign guys. So you go there and you sign it and say, okay, I want to sign lower. And I said to my team back then, I said, we need to go and fight, not just for us, but for everybody. You guys like, how are we going to do it? I said, let's try. We pushed that thing so hard that at the end of the day, everybody just said, okay, we agree. We're going to do something. It might not be as good as it should be, but it moved. People have millions of followers, and all you say to yourself, watch my Gucci shoes, I am in some, really?
In Dubai.
That's the best you can do with your influence? No, we need to start using that. Imagine if I put, what's it called? Davido, Whiskey, these big dudes, and say, okay, let's go and move a policy. Tell me one policy they've used their 50 million people to move. It's simple, 0. If it ever happened, maybe. So the point is, we need to stop this whole idea of, oh, I am popular, I can buy a Lamborghini, I can buy this. Focus on making sure your generations to come can enjoy the fruit of your labor.
Yeah.
So if we're going to ever get language into people's mind, people that are basically, these people, Maso Yimbo, for example, needs to stop focusing on, am I getting endorsements? I'm not saying that's what it's focused on. I'm just saying, I focus on, we need to get Nigerian content, these content, to the right people.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to go anywhere without it. If the whole thing called China today is based on how do we protect ourselves? The whole thing called India is based on visit Rwanda. It's a big program in Rwanda. Made in Rwanda. It's a big program in Rwanda. You understand? Like those sort of things. You need to have people start, we are trying to, it's money. Ooh, Tito, Ejo. Let's start focusing on actual policies that drive these integrations. If a kid is in Anambra, he should be able to know, oh, this is what Lagos looks like. This is what Enugu looks like. This is what Ijebu Ishiwo, Ijebu something, this, that, Egba looks like. That exchange needs to happen.
Exchange is important.
But right now, you speak to anybody saying the TV is not digitized. It's not, we cannot do, and I'm
They're
like,
doing switchover soon, so
soon has even not if come. They do it. The point is, we complain about the problems a lot.
Yeah.
When the people that are supposed to fix it are us.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody needs to.
Wow.
So yeah.
They need to come out and talk about this thing.
Exchange is important.
It's why I'm actually really happy about this. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
It's why I'm really happy about this conversation. There needs to be more like this, where we talk about things like this. I'm not saying that the other things that we talk about are not important. They're definitely important. Every other industry. But Nigeria, Nigerians in Nigeria, the culture of Nigerians, the languages, there needs to be a spotlight on them, and we don't have it enough now. And I don't think we need to wait for one body or the government to start it?
Government can create, like this brand I talked about, it's a government institution. We have institutions.
Yes.
What are they doing? What are they doing?
But who is also forcing them to do something?
We are also keeping quiet.
them?
There's no
oversight,
pressure
yes.
from us. We're not asking questions. We're
Okay,
not.
so let's start. Let's agree on something we can do. I think that's a nice way
Exactly.
to finish it.
So I think for me, the key thing is we need to start getting people of influence into the conversation of policies. We need to start saying, you know, I was speaking to a few friends about, there's a guy called Very Dark Man. I don't know much about the guy, but he seems to be very popular with foreigners than with Nigerians. The funny, at least to me,
Popular with Nigerians.
don't get me wrong. Me, at
okay.
least in my own, what I call Nigerian space, I've never seen his video once on my own feed. But every foreigner I have that is a friend knows Very Dark Man. So I went to research and I'm like, okay, great stuff. He's doing some amazing work and all that. And I kept asking myself, okay, yes, all these things, we could fight the system. We could tell the system it is bad. Okay, so what? What is the result
What happens?
of all the fight? What have you moved with this thing? We need to start getting those sort of people into rooms where they make policies. It's not about, oh yeah, I want to show you how this guy is corrupt. No, it doesn't matter to anybody. What matters
policy changes.
is that you're able to say based on, and you know what happens in advanced world is that when something happens, okay, you found a guy that is making phones for way lesser than what he should make. Instead of trying to say, I want to show you this guy is not doing this, why not try to say, Nigerian government, this is how much this thing is made in China. This is how much is sold in Nigeria. How do we regulate that thing so that our cost of living is basically more? That comes with influence. You have the influence. Influence is not a right to fight. It's a right to impact.
Effect change, yeah.
Just impact stuff. Not, oh, I want to show you I get you. Yes. You should do that when it's needed. But if it's, so the idea needs to be, we do this as a people.
Yeah.
And we say, okay, you know what, me in my head, I want to push for my content to be able to go, that when Instagram is scraping content for Nigerians, I don't care about anybody else. Our government will make sure it's sitting like this and saying, Because if your content in Nigeria, so a YouTuber in Nigeria that has 10,000 live viewers will make less than a YouTuber that has 1,000 live viewers in US.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know why? It's actually it's not because you're in Nigeria. It's because when you put content in Nigeria and they put adverts on it, they pay advert rates that are lower than they pay advert rates that are in that country. And people that watch it in those countries possibly buy more than people that watch it in your country.
Okay.
So when they are not scraping your content for you, the amount of advert that go on your content is lower, which means your entire usage is almost a waste of time.
Yeah.
And that, among other things that happen in the, SEO structure.
Okay.
So it's not because the nation is this, because the nation is that. It's the government that makes sure the money is that way now. Not, there is one person that just sit down and say, I will pay people in US more, I'll pay people in this. No, if you don't regulate me in your country, I'll make all the money, I take it away. That's what the way it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really, really a big pleasure. I've enjoyed this conversation, honestly. And I look forward to, speaking a lot more around this. And I think I'd like to have a lot more follow-up conversations around, especially about how to, spread this gospel a lot more. And I think, because one of the things that happens a lot in this part of the world is that we're beginning to, as we wake up to civilization, it's also very important that we don't let that new knowledge be an adoption of what is already civilized. I always like to do this. I try to pose this theory to people. I say, look at your country on a last 2 years basis. A lot of times, the good things you've done as an emerging country is way better than in the last 2 years, is way better than the good things a lot of other countries that you see as great have done. Because they have sensible forefathers, does not mean we have to have useless children. We now need to start being the forefathers of the next 200 years.
Generation.
And start driving value into our systems.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I look forward to reading this, and I really thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. It's been
Thank
amazing.
you for having us.
Thank
It's
you.
the Not Motivated podcast. I'm Aziz Amida. Peace out.